What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets. Hope everybody's had an excellent week. The weather in New Jersey's been in the 60s, which is awesome. So it's a nice weekend as well, so be sure to get outside and enjoy some fresh air. Thank you so much to everybody who's been supporting my fundraiser. Currently over $3,100 raised with 3 weeks to go. So I genuinely appreciate all the support. With the NFL draft a little bit over a month away, a lot of speculation starts heating up, all the rumors, and you try to pinpoint what players are the best fit for the Jets and how many needs do they have and how can you address them. So you look at, for me, most of the concerns on this team are on offense. And you can say, well, they need a quarterback. Obviously they do. Justin Fields is probably your good stopgap for the next 1 or 2 years. Hopefully you catch lightning in a bottle and he becomes a big-time player for you. But I don't see the Jets taking quarterback in the first 2 rounds. Jalen Milroe is really interesting. If you look at how they want to develop this offense with Fields, how he may fit in there, you take him in a later round and let him sit for 2 years. You could have something there. But in terms of after that, it comes down to 3 positions: offensive tackle, tight end, and wide receiver. And now you're probably saying, no shit, I already know that. But now it's like, how do you address those needs and get the best value, the best bang for your buck in the draft? So, for example, if you have, everybody talks about Tyler Warren at 7, which great player. It's also a very deep and very talented tight end class. If you pass on Tyler Warren at 7 and maybe go in the second round to get someone else, how big is the drop-off? Is it a significant drop-off where you're like, you know what, this is still a very good player that can address our needs? If that is the case, you go in a different direction. Well, then you say wide receiver. Are there slam dunk wide receivers in this draft class where you're like, you know what, Ted McMillan is the game-breaking guy we need, no-brainer. We have no problem taking him. Or do you want somebody, you want a speedster, Matthew Golden? So it's like, is it that guy? Not so sure. The wide receiver group doesn't seem like it's that one where it's at 7, you really want to take that chance. Then you look at offensive tackle, which is an enormous need for the Jets as they want to solidify this offensive line for the first time in God knows how long and have 5 young starters that can work together, play together for a series of years. Now you have Membu or Will Campbell there, and that's where it gets interesting, man, because you figure the Jets want to run the football. You want to protect Justin Fields. How do you do that? You pick what you hope to be is the best offensive tackle in this draft, and you put him over there on the right side and say, here we go. And now we have it. So in terms of how they handle this, to me, I'm curious. And to me, I almost want to trade back, and it's always easier said than done. You have to have somebody fall. Maybe it's Shedeur Sanders, where somebody wants to come up and get him. The Jets don't take him themselves, and then you can trade back and get more value. Because if we're being really honest, the Jets have a lot of holes here. I talked about offense. You probably need 2 receivers. You need a defensive tackle. You need a safety. You need linebackers. You need a lot of other players as well. So if you trade back and you can get more assets in the first round or second round, that may be the way to go. But as of now, I honestly think the Jets, the best value you can get is probably going tackle in the first round. And I know I was talking to Ian about this a couple weeks ago. I was like, no, you got to go tight end. You got to go pass catcher. I just think that you can get those guys later on, maybe trade back up into the first round or second round. I think you can get those assets later on, but you get the stud offensive tackle. That's the anchor of your team, the offensive line. You build it up. You want to compete this year, obviously, but this is a blueprint for the future as well. So let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you later.